I'm going to show you how to create a new order for a client. First thing we'd want to do from the home screen is click on My Purchase Orders. We can create new order. We can type in the client information. One of the things we want to make sure we do here is put in the client email address, because what this will do is when the invoice is put together, it will, when you go to email it, it will automatically generate that email address. You don't have to type it in. And the last little tab at the bottom is going to be for a tech-generated lead. So we can go ahead and select this if the technician generated this sales call. If not, you can go ahead and leave it blank. But one of the things that you can do is you can check your administrative settings to make sure that you have it set up the way that you would like. And just to show you that real quick, we can click on Administration, and we can go to Financial Settings and Commission Scale, and we can edit this. But what this means is every discount that's given, the sales rep's commission drops down. If it's a tech lead, what you can do is you can pick the percentage that you would like the technician to make, and you can also choose if it goes against the sales rep or not. So if we have this set up that with a 5% discount, the sales rep gets 9% here, and let's say the technician gets 3%, right here what we could do is we could have this set at 6%, so that means it's subtracting the technician commission off of the sales rep. But if you didn't want it to go against the sales rep, you could leave it at 9%, so it's 9 and 9, and then the technician gets 3. So this is something that you can set up to match what your company model looks like. But once you have that set up, you are now able to use this setting right here at the bottom, which if it's a tech-generated lead or not. The next thing that we would do is we'd go in and do the engineering analysis. And if you want to learn how to do that, there's a separate video on how to do that. Then we can upload our site photos. To upload site photos from your device, if you push this button right here, Upload, it's going to give you two options. One of them is to select a file that exists on the device already, or you can just take a picture right there from the tablet. Once you upload this photo, it's going to transfer it and put it on the install task sheet. So the installer's manager, purchasing coordinator is going to be able to see the job before you guys actually go out to it. But for designing the system, we can go to Equipment Task Page. And on the Equipment Task Page, this is where we're going to start putting options together to price out for the homeowner. So we can add item, and let's say we're going to price out a furnace. We can select the efficiency of the furnace that we'd like. You can choose the order of this any way that you want. So if you want it to start with brand, we can have it start with brand and then go to efficiency and then size. Anything you want, it's customizable for this interview process is what it's called. Then we can pick the size of the system. Let's say it's 70,000 B2 with a 3-ton blower, and then upflow or downflow, and then there's 2 different brands available. So that's the order that this interview process is going. Once you push add, you can do one of 2 things. I can push add again, and it's going to add in this furnace with all the tagged components. Or I could go back and hit the reset button and select another item, and it will add all of the components that I've added in. So if I want to do an air conditioner as well, I can put in efficiency, and size, and brand, and I just pushed add again, so I can either go ahead and add in the furnace and air conditioner now, or I can go back and add other items, such as maybe indoor air quality products. And I'm going to go ahead and add all those in. And what it did there is when I select the furnace, I'm just going to show you here real quick, that the furnace is set up and it tagged with all of these components. These are the components that we want to have where it's automatically going with it, so we don't forget to price it out or let the client know what's available. If for some reason you didn't need some of these options, we can just remove the ones that we don't want. If you have items set up like the PVC, for instance, you can put this in as a bulk of 25 feet if you want, so it's an average, or you can put it in like this, which is 1 foot. We can edit that, and then we can change the quantity over here to 20 feet. Let's say this is an option. Maybe the client wanted it, maybe they didn't. If you need to price out another option because maybe they didn't want this option, you can click on option 2. And maybe they just want to see what it is with just the furnace alone, but you don't want to remove everything that you put together. You can add in the furnace here. And this is what it would be with just the furnace. And again, if there's a couple components that you don't need, we can remove those back out. And right now we have it under a full retail, and it's saying if we use the full retail, this is a 6.9% financing from Wells Fargo, and it says the monthly payment is $108. If we ended up figuring out that this is the option that we want to do, what we got to do is we have to select option over here. Once we select the option, it's going to transfer it through to all the other items, such as the client invoice. So this would be the client invoice, and from here on the device, the client would be able to sign with their finger, and I'm just signing right now on my desktop. But tablets sign a little bit better, and you can get a little pen with it too to make it sign a little bit better. Then what you have here is this is a signed invoice. I can save the signature, and we could email this or print this. And if we were to email it or print it, what it's going to look like is this. This is the invoice. It's going to have your logo at the top and everything that was sold for the job. Right now it's called a bulk invoice, so there is all the items listed out and there's one price at the bottom. If you wanted to give a detailed invoice, let's say the client called in later, you can go back to the invoice that the client has, you can click detailed, and it throws the prices in for every item, and then you can email it right off to them so they can get the information they need. The sales rep can look at the commission before they decide to sell it. This was sold at full price, so there is no discount, and the commission stays at a full 9%. And it shows you here that the technician is making $155 and the sales rep is making $466. And you can click on these little buttons over here, and this will show you everything for the job. So if you had everything departmentalized in your catalog, and that means that you just choose a department number for it, it will break them all out into separate departments. But the bottom one here is all departments combined, and it's going to show you your commission percentage, equipment percentage, material percentage, all of these items that you have in there and what your gross margin is going to be on this job. So sales rep can check this before they sell it just to make sure they're making the commission that they want. Then you can look at supplier orders here, and based on this we have in stock, Johnstone, and supply, and that's just the way that it's set up. But when you have these set up, it will order your equipment by model number and order number and the contracted price that you have with your vendor. And you could either email this directly from the home if you'd like, or you could have a purchasing coordinator that would be able to take all of these jobs, look them over, make sure everything's accurate, and then they can forward that email over to the supply house. Then we have the install task sheet. This is going to tell the installers what's included with the job and what they should do, how much money they should be making, and how long this job should take to complete. And you can either email this or print this for your installers. And the salesperson doesn't need to necessarily go through all of these. I mean, the main thing is put the job together, get the load calculation done, look the commission over, make sure they're happy, and then they can go to the submit button, and they need to submit, verify everything is correct. Once they submit this order, they're not going to be able to open it back up and edit anything. They can open it and look everything over, but they can't edit anything. And that's just a security setting that is put in place so we don't have one person ordering equipment and the other person's in there changing things. So if the sales rep needed to get back into the job and edit anything, what they can do is they can talk to an administrator, and the administrator would be able to go to that job that has been submitted. They can click on this little upside down triangle, and they can change the status, and they can open the job back up if the sales rep needs to get back in, but at least this way they're not both working on it at the same time. For all the reporting functions to work and look at your sales numbers, you do need to click that submit button at the end, because the submit will show it as a sale and the open jobs will be listed as a no sale. There's other settings out here that can be used as well, and this is just so the sales rep is able to see their job and if they've been paid on a job or not. But to change those settings, we can change the status again, and we can say that the paperwork is complete, the client paid, and sales rep's been paid, and you can save that. So that is pretty much full circle on how to create an order, how to get it sent off to the client, invoicing, and make sure that everything gets ordered.